Galnet News Digest, 24th of November 3306. We read the news so you don't have to.
In this week's news roundup, an apology.
200,000 Sidewinders.
Galactic Roundup.
An apology. Galnet News Digest would like to start with an apology. You may have seen our recent video, Welcome to the Noob Zone, in which we gave some helpful tips for new commanders. Unfortunately, our usually high editorial standards slipped somewhat, and one or two facts were incorrect or omitted completely.
Firstly, we incorrectly stated that the idea that you get awarded a free Anaconda spaceship if you travel to the Hutton Orbital Outpost in the Alpha Centauri system is just a joke. While we were factually correct, we should have made it clear to you that you can buy an Anaconda there for the massively discounted price of 100 credits. For this, we are sorry. Secondly, we completely failed to mention the special starports that provide free power-ups. These are a special sort of Coriolis station with pods on the ends of extremely long arms that rotate with the station. Known colloquially as noob hammers, the pods are quite hard to collide with, but if you manage this achievement, you get a power-up for your character known as the Remlock Ride. Don't miss out on the opportunity because, as the name implies, the power-up is only available to new players. For this, we are sorry. We also forgot to mention Mitterrand Hollow, a moon rapidly orbiting New Africa in the Epsilon Indi system. The view from the surface is an absolute must for new commanders. However, be very careful how you approach this fast-moving moon. As you can imagine, if it collides with your spaceship, your ship is very likely to be destroyed. So it's important that you orbit behind it and catch it up from behind. For this, we are sorry. We appreciate that the angry mob of new commanders who burned down the offices of Galnet News Digest last night may have had a valid point to make, although a message in the comments section of the video would have been just as effective. If anyone would like to come back to collect their pitchforks, we have quite a large pile. We'd also like to point out that the offending edition of Galnet Noob Digest was written by Commander Beetlejude, described by the Flight Assist podcast as the perfect mix of personality, focus and drive, who is also a moderator of the Elite Dangerous community on Facebook and a renowned space artist, and she really ought to have known better. What a spoon!
200,000 Sidewinders.
There has been massive congestion this week, with reports of up to 200,000 Sidewinders in the Dromi system alone. Quite a few of the Sidewinders were orange Sidewinders, and there were numerous reportings of the so-called Brabant Tunnel, where entering and leaving the hyperspace tunnel takes longer than the jump itself. A number of experienced players were observed systematically massacring new commanders as they emerged from the starter systems, giving them a nice break from their interminable moaning about how no one plays in open. Galactic Roundup.
The story so far. The galaxy consists of the Federation, an organisation that can trace its lineage back to the government of the United States of America, and which governs from Mars in the Sol system. The Empire, which is based on Capitol in Achenar, uses slaves and has senators and bucket loads of scheming and plotting. The Alliance of Independent Systems, based in Alioth. The Thargoids, who live in the Pleiades, the Witchhead Nebula, the California Nebula, and the Coalsack Nebula, and who are awfully nice, at least by the standards of eight-legged chitinous space spiders. The Guardians, who appear to have died out millions of years ago, but who left advanced intelligence, technological know-how, and a jolly interesting story if you can be bothered to dig it out. And an awful lot of independent systems that belong only to themselves.
The Empire is being attacked from within by neo-Marlinist Republicans. The federal president, Zachary Hudson, is in the middle of a scandal about his involvement in the attempted murder of his predecessor 5 years ago. The Alliance is quietly getting on with exploitation of barnacle sites in the Coalsack Nebula, much to the consternation of the local Thargoids. Kepler Orbital in the Atropos system is on fire. There are people on board who need rescuing. The price commanders can earn by selling mined minerals has been changing, but it still remains a fantastically lucrative occupation.
Many commanders who assisted the Alliance last week have been granted a super-effective frameshift drive that allows their ships to jump 6 light-years more than any ship with a Class 5 FSD has ever been able to jump before. By the time you're listening to this, you've just missed out on the opportunity to get a purple paint job for every ship you own in return for watching Stephen Benedetti being embarrassingly bad at combat.
Aww. Speedball 4, a death-defying sporting event, has just concluded, with the winners travelling at well over 3.5 kilometres a second. Someone from Operation Ida, the organisation that repairs damaged stations, who clearly has way too much time on their hands, has drawn a huge Operation Ida logo across the entire face of the galaxy, in a Sidewinder. As to what will happen tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see.
And that's this week's Galnet News.
Galnet News. We read the news, so you don't have to.